About 60 kilometres from Vienna is the historic port of Bratislava. There are some brilliant free choice options available when you arrive in Vienna, including a little day trip to Bratislava, which is the capital of Slovakia. Now, if you come and take up this option, you can tick off a whole other European country. Here at the foot of the Little Carpathians, Slovakia meets Hungary and Austria. The Old Quarter has a lot of charm with its vibrant cafe culture and young and lively atmosphere. One of the Danube's busiest ports, Bratislava is a unique city with plenty of culture and historical interest.
Scenic Tours have a fantastic offer for all viewers wanting to experience a 15 or 21-day river cruise on board a magnificent scenic spaceship. Call Scenic Tours now to book your place on 1300 Scenic. That's 1300 723 642, and you could fly free to Europe, saving up to $5,200 per couple. Prices start from $6,150 per person twin share. And remember, everything is included except your personal spending. Hurry, 2011 early birds are out now. Our first 50 callers tonight will also receive a $100 per person on board credit. So call Scenic Tours now and secure your place.
Vienna, a city of romance, where the streets are paved with culture. It's a city where you can feel history everywhere. A metropolis with unique charm, vibrancy and flair. And the best way to discover Vienna is on foot. Grab yourself a map and see it for yourself. Or jump on board a scenic guided day tour. It's a city of palaces, most of which were built during the Habsburg dynasty. And of all the palaces built by the Habsburgs, the most splendid would have to be Belvedere Palace. These days, it's used as an art gallery and museum. Well, I can't sit around here all day. There is way too much to see and do. Vienna is the most popular tourist destination in Austria and is a dream city for anyone with a romantic streak, a love of art and music, or an interest in history. I defy you not to fall in love with Vienna. It is absolutely beautiful. Every which way you turn, there's an architectural gem staring straight back at you. Though the Habsburgs no longer rule, Vienna remains an imperial city. The Hofburg Palace, home to Austria's rulers since the 13th century, was the principal winter residence of the Habsburg family, and today is the official residence of the President of Austria. Many statues and monuments pay tribute to Vienna's amazing history, and it's really a city of legend, where myth and reality are forever entwined. It's definitely worth taking time out of your busy day to sample a traditional Viennese coffee. And while you're there, make sure you take up Scenic's free choice offer of a traditional Viennese coffee and cake at one of their famous al fresco cafes. Delicious. There is art and culture everywhere you look. Schönbrunn Palace is impressive. Originally built as the Summer Palace in 1730, Marie Antoinette spent her youth there. Napoleon made it his headquarters. Mozart performed his first royal recital there. Franz Joseph was born and died there. And the last Habsburg Emperor, Karl I, signed his abdication here in 1918. How's that for an impressive visitors list? I simply had to ride in a horse and carriage around the incredible landscaped gardens, just to feel what it was like to travel the way they would have done all those years ago.
You know, Schönbrunn Palace is the summer residence, or was the summer residence of the Habsburg family. In the wintertime, in the colder months, they lived in the city center, and when it became too hot in the city center, they moved outside, because this here was actually countryside.
Oh. So they were obviously a very powerful family.
Absolutely, yes. They ruled Austria for approximately 600 years. And one of the most powerful was Franz Joseph, whose official study this here was. Just look at the desk. This was his desk. And everybody could come here to tell Franz Joseph about his problems.
And quite an important room, this one, Claudia.
It was the bedroom of Emperor Franz Joseph, and it was exactly the room where he died in the middle of the First World War. You see his bed. That was the bed where he died in.
The real bed?
The real bed. That's the actual bed.
Wow.
And you can see him lying on his deathbed on the painting over there.
A fairly impressive dining room.
This is a dining room, yes. Again, you can see Emperor Franz Joseph over there looking down at the table.
He looks so young.
He was very young when he started ruling Austria. He was only 18.
Wow.
Just imagine.
It's a lot of pressure for a young bloke.
Yes. Just look at the beautiful napkins. They are 1 square meter, and they are folded in a very, very complicated way.
Are they messy eaters?
Yeah.
Well, this is obviously a bedroom, but whose is it?
It was the bedroom of Franz Joseph and Elizabeth, his wife. Elizabeth was a very unhappy woman. It was a very unhappy marriage. Elizabeth was born and grew up in Bavaria. She was a very wild young lady.
Oh, okay.
And then when she was 15, she came here to Vienna, into the stiff court of Vienna.
Yeah.
She had to behave in a certain manner, and she didn't like it, and she felt like closed in a golden cage.
Okay.
And so she started traveling a lot. She traveled, she built palaces in Hungary and on the island of Corfu, and she traveled all the time. So this here was actually not used very often. But still, they had 4 children.